Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of PhotoBiz Live. This is Danny from the PhotoBiz team, and today we're going to be joined by Darty Hines for a webinar that's going to be covering surviving the holidays. So he's going to be teaching you a little bit about, going through holidays and how to handle all the craziness that comes with them. So just a little bit of information about Darty if you aren't already familiar with him. He's the marketing director and lead photographer at Colleen Co, which is based out of Central Pennsylvania. And Colleen Co has been around since 1989 and has grown to include 2 locations and 8 full-time employees. Their studio photographs over 700 seniors per year, along with newborns, children, and families. Darty's also the president of the Senior and Youth National Conference, SYNC, which you guys, if you are into senior photography and want to learn more about it and have an awesome, amazing experience, you guys should definitely check out Sync. I was able to attend and had an absolute blast. It's a great program that Darty puts on, and he has some amazing photographers there, speakers, there's vendors. It's a blast, so you guys can learn more about that as well. Darty also helps run the background company, Colleen Co for Pros.com. And Darty himself has been a professional photographer since 1992 and believes in providing the customer with the perfect images and a unique experience. How are you doing today, Darty?
Hey, we're doing good, Danny. Thanks for having us.
Oh, awesome. Well, guys, I just want to go over a couple quick things. We're going to get you right into this webinar. So if you guys do have any questions during the webinar or have any trouble hearing or seeing the slides, just send me a message in the comment box and you'll be able to chat with me directly. Also, if you guys are on Twitter, please use the hashtag #PhotoBizLive. And so if you want to tweet about today's webinar, share the link with your friends, get everyone in here that you think this webinar would benefit. You can discuss that on Twitter as well. So with all that being said, I'm going to step away from the mic and let Darty get started.
Alrighty. Again, thanks for having me. I think it's going to be a great afternoon here. We're going to spend about 45 minutes or so talking about holidays. Don't let the bio that was shared scare you, because sometimes people hear 2 studio locations and 700 high school seniors and they're all of a sudden, I'm tuning out because this does not apply to me. I want to let everybody know that they're welcome at all levels of your photography experience. And just because you're starting out by yourself right now, maybe you're even just a location shooter, it doesn't mean that some of the things that we're going to talk about today are not something that you can strive to make your goals, or it's something that you can strive to become if that's your desire. So the things that we're going to share today, anybody can apply them in their business and really start to make a success out of your studio. And also, if you've been in the business for a long time, hopefully we'll share some ideas to help generate some more cash flow this holiday season, because that's kind of where we're at. We're in November, and hopefully a lot of you have got your promotions already set, because it's that time of year, and hopefully you're getting ready to do them over the next couple of weeks and getting them to your clients in time for Christmas and New Year's and all those things. So I'm hoping we're going to share some really good ideas and tips with you today. So let's go ahead and get started. Danny pretty much already did my bio, so I won't stay on this slide very long, but I've been in the business for 20 years. I'm a strong believer in quality education. There's very few webinars that I would even consider doing, but PhotoBiz is one of them, because we totally believe in PhotoBiz and our product line. We've been using them for quite some time now, both with the Colleen & Company websites and also Sync Seniors website. So it's a company that I believe in, and that's one of the reasons why we're here, because I do believe in supporting companies that support the industry, and I think PhotoBiz does a great job with that. So with being in the business for 20 years, we learn a lot of pluses and minuses when it comes to photography and the things that we do and do not want to participate in, and we're just glad to be a part of PhotoBiz's family. So that's about it. We're in Central Pennsylvania. We have 2 photography studios. We do all kinds of portraits, anything from a newborn all the way up to high school seniors, engagements. The only thing we don't do is weddings, but besides that, if they're paying for it, we're going to photograph them. Here's the studio, and there down at the bottom you can see our email address. So afterwards, we're going to have a little bit of time for questions and answers, but afterwards, if you think about it later and you go, oh man, I wish I would have asked that question, feel free to use that email address there versus the one that's on the actual website, because that'll be a direct right into my inbox, and I'll be able to answer those questions for you. So feel free to use Colleen & Co at comcast.net. So let's talk about that, surviving the holidays as we get into the Christmas promotional time of the year for photography studios. Sometimes I think we all feel like this, where your stress level is pretty high, especially if you are if you have a family and you have young kids, and you're thinking about all the in-laws coming to town, and all the things that go along with the holidays can get very, very stressful. So what I'd like to do today is share some promotions, ideas, tips, and tricks that will help at least your business be a little less stressful. So we're going to start right into this, and we're going to talk about, first of all, marketing and advertising, the things that we do at the studio to get the word out to our clients, because we want to make sure that they know what our promotions are and all the different ways we go about making sure that our clients, previous clients, current clients, and future clients know about our promotions. So we're going to cover about five or six different things here in this section of the webinar. We're going to talk about email, direct mail, Facebook, website, cross promotions, and current and past clients. So we're going to start with email. What we use with email, we're using Constant Contact. If there's all kinds of options out there. There's, you can obviously Google email companies, and you're going to find hundreds of them. I just find that Constant Contact seems to be very reliable. I don't have any issues. I've been using them for about 5 years, and it just seems like it's very easy to use, and the flow is very nice, and I've never had any issues from day one. So, and when we do send a Constant Contact email out, I try to use large photographs so they can see the images clearly and be able to see what the special is for the year or for that season and that promotion. And then also I always make sure that I'm putting pricing on there so they're aware of what the affordable options are. In today's economy, we're always looking for things that are affordable, because we want our clients to be able to come in and have nice holiday pictures for their families without feeling like we're breaking their budget. So Constant Contact's a great option, or any other email option. So getting that information out to your clients through email is definitely something that you want to do. The second option is direct mail. We've used a couple samples of some things we've done in the past, whether it's a 8.5 by 11 sheet that's put into an envelope. We also do like a folded sheet that'd be a self-mailer, like the one in the middle there, the white one that says holiday. And then the one on the bottom there is actually more of a 5 by 5 folded card that we've mailed out. So direct mail is very important, because I think in today's age we sometimes feel like we got to rely solely on social media for our marketing or emails, and I think that all the things that we're covering here in this section is very important, because they all work together. And I'm a strong believer on making sure that you get your name in front of the client in however many ways you can. So we're going to use all of these options that we're going to talk about. We're going to use every single one of them, because I want to make sure that I'm reaching the client no matter what type of person they are. It was interesting. I had a conversation with a high school senior's mom earlier in the year. I was photographing her daughter, and I always seem to ask, how did you hear about us? And one of the things I thought was very interesting was she said that she heard about us through a direct mail piece that we had mailed to our seniors. And I was like very happy to hear that, because there's some people that say that direct mail is dead, and I'm a strong believer that it is not. And I said, well, did you see us on Facebook? And she said, absolutely not. She goes, our family doesn't use Facebook. We're not involved on Facebook, so I'm really glad that you mailed that piece. And it just kind of solidified the fact that direct mail is not dead, and we need to continue doing that. And I'll show you here in a second too how we're using some of these pieces to our current clients. And then as we do talk about Facebook a little bit, the one thing I want to say about Facebook is that we need to keep in the back of our mind that Facebook is just a part of our marketing arsenal. It is not the only thing that's important. It's just one of the things that are important. And yes, we are on Facebook, and we are constantly there uploading promotional pieces, photographs, status updates, things like that. But I want to make sure that it's not the sole purpose of our marketing. I think in today's world we have to ask ourselves, what if? Think about the option of, what if one day Mark Zuckerberg woke up and he was in a bad mood, and he said, you know what, I'm done with Facebook. There's not going to be any more Facebook in this world, and he flipped a switch. Because he could. He owns it. It's his business. If he decided he didn't want to do it anymore and he wanted to flip the switch on Facebook, think about your business and how you would get to your clients. Would you still be able to reach your clients through other means other than Facebook, because if you're relying solely on Facebook, I think that's a definite mistake in your business. On Facebook, what we do is we change the cover picture, as in that previous slide. We change that often with the promotions that are going on at the studio. And then we also upload an album of the promotions also. So you can see this currently on our Facebook page. If you go to Colleen Co Portrait Studio, you'll see these items that are shown here on the screenshot. And each one of those images that are there, they're basically advertising every special that we're doing throughout the year here at the studio, especially during the holiday seasons. So I think it's very important that we update the Facebook page quite often. And then also what we're doing too is we're actually uploading the photos from the special. These would be the ones that they've actually purchased from. So we're putting images on there too so they can actually see them. And we've seen that that's actually generated more business. With the two locations, usually we do a holiday promotion one weekend, and then the next weekend we do it at the other location. And quite often, after we start uploading pictures of the actual sessions that were taken during the week, we'll get phone calls that says, you know what, I missed it at the one location. Can I go to the other location and get the appointments? I saw the pictures on Facebook. They were so good, and I definitely want to get those done. So, by uploading images after the fact, it definitely has generated more business for us. Here's our website. This is currently, if you go to our website right now on the home page, I have the same images that I have on Facebook advertising the promotions for the year. They're scrolling on our home page. And obviously we're using PhotoBiz for our website. And I think it's one of the great things about it is it's so easy to change that as soon as the specials are over, we can go right onto our admin site and go in there and totally delete those pictures and take them off of our homepage very easily just by click and drag. So that's one of the amazing things about PhotoBiz that we love. So we're quite often changing up those homepage images. I don't normally put a lot of full portrait images on there. I'm usually doing promotional things to kind of grab their attention because I want them to call the studio and make appointments for things. Another thing that we're doing also is the current special tabs. I'm just linking that to a PDF in PhotoBiz also, and that will also be something they could actually print out if they wanted to. You could also put a coupon there. I mean, there's a lot of different options with the external link right to a PDF that would also give you more advertising opportunities. One of the most important ways you can advertise about your holiday specials is in outgoing orders. In this shot here, what we're looking at is we do some underclass at some of the local high schools and elementary schools and middle schools. And one of the best ways to advertise is actually to stick a flyer right into those outgoing orders. And it's the perfect time of year because we're doing underclass images. We pretty much have wrapped them up for the year. So we were taking those in September and October. And so our Christmas promotions are usually in November and early December. So it's perfect to be able to actually insert that right into their outgoing orders. So when they get their finished pictures, the parents pull it out and there's a promotion from our studio. The reason we do this is because this is obviously our target market. Anybody that's in elementary all the way through high school to do especially our children promotions, it's the exact people that we want to hit with our mailings. And it's free and then inexpensive because they're getting an order anyway, and all we're doing is just printing it in-house and sticking it right into that outgoing envelope. And we also do that with sports teams. So if you photograph a dance team or a sports league of some sort, soccer, whatever, you should always put something in the outgoing orders to generate additional business for a future promotion. I would say that we never send anything out of the studio that doesn't have the next promotion stuffed inside of it because it's that important to continually advertise to your clients. We also will mail something. So we are also doing a family special during the holidays, and we just actually will print that in-house, 8.5 by 11 sheet, and it will go to current and past clients. And sometimes this takes a little bit of legwork. You actually got to sit down at the computer and print out the labels and figure out who's come to your studio as for different promotions and events and start to print out their labels so you can mail to them. And I think that's important because we want to remind past clients who haven't been to a studio in a while to come back in for an updated family portrait. And what we do for our families is we also want to make sure that we're open at times where they can actually come in and make the appointment, especially when they have college kids and they're coming home for school. And they can actually call up the studio and make appointments that's available for their family. So we're open on Black Friday. I know everybody wants to go shopping, but that's a great day to have your business open for sessions. So because a lot of people are home for the holidays, and that's a great day to come in for a portrait. And we also do Saturdays by appointment during the holidays also, because obviously, again, we need to be open and available for our clients when their families are together. And holidays and weekends are sometimes what we do work in the holiday season. Don't do too many in the summertime, but we do more so during the Christmas promotional times. So I want to talk now a little bit about designing the pieces and where we get our design ideas from. One of my most favorite places ever is Check Art Studio. You can see their website there at the bottom. I think that a lot of people use them for Christmas cards, and we do also. We use them for Christmas cards. And then what I do, because her templates are so well designed and they're on multiple layers and very easy to use, is a lot of times I'll use the elements of the Christmas cards and actually redesign it into a promotional piece. So I'll back up a little bit. As you look here on this family promotion, the top of that, where the green is, and then also where the gray stripes are behind, the little vintage papers, all of that is little pieces from Charmaine Check's Check Art Studio, her Christmas cards, and all I've done is just drug them into a different Photoshop document, 8.5 by 11, and actually have designed a marketing piece out of it. Some other places that we like to use, I found this one this year. This is a fairly new place for us to be using, and that is Bird Design. It's an Etsy store, and I think it's a great place to get some options as far as, again, similar to Charmaine Check's Check Art Studio, where it's layered Photoshop files, and we can use them for Christmas cards or also for promotions. Another place you can check out on your own is Stock Layouts. Usually it's about a $99 package will get you multiple pieces and multiple different formats, anything from if you use Apple's Pages to can't think of the software right now, but all these different things. So Microsoft Office, they have Photoshop documents, so a lot of different options there, and you can go there and check them out and see what you like. We've used them in the past. And then also, if you do use Pages, you can look on the Apple's App Store, and you can find some different templates for Pages that are additional that would load right into the Pages program on your Mac computer. And I've done that many times too. And sometimes I don't use the actual file, but I'll use elements that are within that file to create something new and unique to the studio. Here are the promotions that we do during the holidays. One of the things that we do and have the most success with is quick takes. And quick takes, if we want to talk about them just for a second, what are they? To our clients, we kind of advertise them like this. They're surprisingly affordable, extremely easy, fun, and exciting portrait sessions for kids. And as we talk about it to photographers, basically what these are, they're limited edition sessions with a theme, background, or set at an affordable price. So basically, we're talking about doing sessions during those prime times, which would be Christmas, Easter, summer, and fall, and they're theme-based. So here's some of the things we've done in the past, so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about when we talk about theme portraits. These were some things we did in the early spring or into the late winter, so maybe February. Before we start talking about Easter pictures, this would be a good filler. So we did the one on the left called Route 66, kind of an old antique car kind of a scene, and then the one on the right was Grandma's Attic. We did those both at the same exact time, so we had one that appealed to boys and one that appealed to girls. Here's some fall ones that we've done in the past. We did Wild West and Fall Fest. During the summertime, we always do one out on our beach scenes. We have beach days, and then on the right there you can see Mr. Fix-It, like an old garage-looking thing with the tricycle and the tools. The boys seem to really like that. This was a fun one. It was big, bold, and bright. And the only thing that we had on this, a stipulation, was the fact that the kids had to be old enough to actually pose. We obviously don't want to be doing 6-month-olds, and a 1-year-old would not work for this. They had to be about 3 to 4 years old and higher, just because we want them to be able to hold flowers and to do different poses and different faces. And we're using a ring light to shoot those against really vibrant papers, and that was a fun quick take. We had a good results on that. Here's one called Old Trunks and Antique Junk, basically on that vintage theme. And then we also have done one called Vintage Valentine, where we've color touched or did selective color on different things and black and white close-ups, and that was kind of a fun quick take also. And then here's one from Easter. The most popular quick takes are Easter, and then we also do one in the summer, which is usually a beach scene, and then fall and Christmas. Those are the most popular. And then we'll supplement in between those with some additional ones, such as the big, bold, and bright, or some of the antique ones. But those are not nearly as popular as the more ones that are kind of themed around the seasons. Our rules for quick takes are pretty simple. They're children only. We do not do any families and no pets. They're 15-minute appointments. We actually will schedule them every 15 minutes. We only photograph 6 to 8 poses. That does not mean we're taking 10 to 20 or 30 images and editing them down. If we say 6 to 8 poses, we're usually photographing at most 10 or 12 shots, and I'm going to show you examples of exactly how many images we shot in a session here just from last weekend here as we get into this webinar a little bit farther. And they're going to view in order on the same day, and we'll talk about that in a second. There's a very low price point. It's $69.95 is the base package, and we'll talk about that in a second. We do this because it's a great way to introduce ourselves to a new client. So let's just say that, Colleen Co, when it comes to seniors, our seniors are used to spending a little bit more money, maybe anywhere between $700 to $2,000. And so we do kind of have we're kind of an expensive reputation. And so this is a quick take is a great way to introduce a client to you without that sticker shock. So $69.95 is a great price point to bring them in, and then hopefully we can upsell them with additional items. So let's talk about sales for a second. What we're doing when we're shooting the quick takes is we're actually shooting in RAW and JPEG, and then we're using Pro Select. And so what we're going to do is we're going to insert all the JPEGs into Pro Select and show them their images that way. The price list is pretty simple. It's 8.5 by 11, just printed out in-house. It's usually two-sided. On the first side, we usually will show the dates and showcase the kind of different sets that we're doing. Sometimes we'll even showcase what's coming up next, depending on the time of the year. So as they look at the price list and look at the items, they can say, oh, here's the next thing that's coming up. I want to book that before I leave. That's always a good thing to do. We also put some of the new products on there, whether that's, different things from photo charms to mouse pads to ornaments and things like that. During the holidays, we'll have additional products, more so than we would normally. We actually add a few extra things because people will spend more money during the holidays. Here's the packages just to kind of show you. Here's exactly what I would say to a client after the images are taken, and we've narrowed it down to their favorites. Then, usually I try to get most clients narrowed down to about 4 images or 5 images because I can put them into a package pretty easily. So if you were my client and we were sitting at the computer and I'm getting ready to talk to you about the packages and what you can purchase, I would say, okay, we have narrowed it down to your favorite 4 or 5, so let's look at what your options are. We're going to start down at the bottom with package C. It's 3 sheets, it's 1 pose, it's $69.95. You have to at least purchase this package. That is the minimum order for the quick takes. The next one up is package B, and it has 6 sheets and 2 poses. And then package A has 9 sheets and a desk print and also a proof set. And what a proof set is that you get 1 4x5 of every single image that we took today. And then also for the holiday season, we have a special holiday collection, which is 3 poses, 6 sheets. You get a gallery print, which is 10 by 20. We're giving you a photo ornament and 24 designer cards and a proof set. So that's how we kind of started out, and then we kind of let the client go from there as far as what they would want to purchase. Most people are going to fall somewhere in that B and A package range because they like to fall towards the middle. And then some people will add additional sheets, and you can see there in the blue box that they are $20 extra for an 8x10, 2 5x7s, 4 4x5s, or 8 wallets. This is the only time at the studio that we sell in sheets. All the other times we sell individual prints like 1 8x10 or 1 5x7. But for quick takes, because of the way they're designed and being affordable, then we're selling in sheets. You can see also there that we have digital files, and I am very happy to say that we do not sell hardly any of these. All last week we did quick takes, and we only sold digital file to 1 client. For the most part, it doesn't seem like that our clients are looking for digital files, and for me that's a very good thing because I'm here to sell them prints, and I want them to return back to the studio for prints. So I'm very happy to see that digital files is not something that our clients are desiring at this time, and quite honestly, I'm totally cool with that, and I hope it doesn't happen for a long, long time. So you might be asking, do quick takes hurt your sales of regular appointments? In other words, being this is an affordable kind of a cheap alternative, will they still come in for custom portraits of their family and their children? And the answer is absolutely yes. People understand the difference because of the way we run a quick take. They understand that they're there for 15 minutes. They have to come dressed. They don't get to pick a background. We don't do anything. We stay on that background the entire time. We never go to different backgrounds. We don't change it. We just recently had a lady call and ask if she could switch out some of the props that were in the background, and the answer to that is absolutely not, because it is a preset theme portrait. If you want to do something custom, then you have to come to the studio and purchase a custom photo session. And the other thing is the way we package that. Quick takes get packaged in a white window envelope, and it's very no frills. And if you would come to the studio for a custom session, then now we're going to put you into a beautiful gift box with tissue paper and spend a little bit more time because you have spent more money at the studio. So the clients seem to get that and understand that. And we get some clients that only do quick takes, and that's the only time we ever see them. And then we also get some clients that do both custom sessions and quick takes. So let's talk about the photography real quick about the quick takes. I just want to kind of show you, this would be an actual session that we just took last weekend, so this is very new. This is our current special that's going on. It was Friday and Saturday of last week, and then we're going to do it again this Friday and Saturday. And this is exactly how we would have shot it. We usually start off with a pretty easy pose. Sitting on a bench is pretty simple for young kids to be able to do. And then without changing anything, all I did was zoom in. We're shooting this with a 70 to 200 millimeter lens. So I shoot the full-length shot, and then I can zoom in, so I get in there really close until your heads almost touch. And within seconds, we've got 2 clicks of the camera, 2 totally different looking pictures. One's vertical, one's horizontal. Then from there, we would stand up the little boy and keep the girl seated, just turn the bench a little bit, move him behind. Again, click a full length, and then just have him lean in really close to her, get him really tight for a headshot, and then click a closer up shot looking right at the camera. So again, 2 quick shots really quick. And then we would just move them both behind the bench, have them hold a little package, lean in real close for a close-up, and then again doing a full length, and then maybe have them look at each other and giggling and laughing. Quite honestly, most people are not going to purchase interactive shots. We as photographers think they're amazing. I love it when you have a picture of a kid, maybe touching a chandelier or pointing to the snow or looking inside of a package. But as most people know, moms want pictures of the kids' expressions. I will say it every day and all day long that expression will sell the image. So if you can get them looking at the camera with that smile that mom loves, that's the one they're always going to purchase. From there, we will automatically go ahead and shoot individuals of the children. So we would split them up, and we would only do 2 poses. That's all we need to do is just 2 shots. So usually a sitting down and a standing up, or maybe a close-up and a standing up full length, depending on the shots. But here's the shots of the girls, and then we have the shots of the guy. So every family is going to, every set of children, if they got multiple children, they're going to get the individual kids taken, unless the parent would say absolutely not, I'm not interested in it. But we try to do that because it's just added sales. And then this was exactly what she purchased from those images, so you can see the client's purchases. This is a gallery print that she did the largest collection, the one that had all the extras in it, and then this was her Christmas card. It's very interesting to me that we tell our sales team to don't let the client tell you no until I've said it at least 3 times, especially during the holidays. And absolutely every single person gets asked about Christmas cards because we have such a wide variety of Christmas cards that we want to make sure that everybody has that option of purchasing. And we do sell quite a few of our press printed cards throughout this holiday season. So just to kind of review quick takes quickly, is we want to set the promotional date, and then we want to advertise that special, and we're going to schedule those sessions by appointment only. Photograph the session. We're going to order immediately after the session with ProSelect, and then we get it all set up for package and delivery. And we try to get them out within, I would say within 10 days, the client will get their finished images back to them because they want them back quickly because it's the holiday season. They want to give them as gifts. So I want to quickly kind of talk about how we design a set because you might be wondering, how exactly are we going to make this all work? And so I'm going to step you through that. Here are the pieces of a set that you're going to need. You're going to need a background of some sort. Then you're obviously going to need some props. one of the things that we forget about is the depth. When you have a little bit of room between your subject and the background, it starts to make the image look more real and realistic, especially when you're doing something like an outdoor winter scene. I think is very important. So we want to make sure it has as much realism as possible. So we try to keep the subject away from the background about 5 to 6 feet, and that kind of helps us with the compression, especially when we're using a 70 to 200 millimeter lens. It makes everything just kind of compress together and really fills up the frame nicely with the props that are in there. And we always want to make sure that we have foreground, so we have some snow and some twigs and maybe a gift box or something like that in the front, and then we have the subject and we have background elements. So that also will help make more of a realistic image. And then lighting is the last thing, and probably the most important, is making sure that we have really good lighting on the faces. You will notice that there's very few shadows. That's because most people do not want shadows on their children, especially on their faces. So we use very flat lighting for this particular kind of session. We're using usually a large softbox, probably 3.5 by 5, and a reflector, and then that way we have nice even lighting across their entire face. So this would be kind of the step-by-steps on how we would set up a set. As you can see here, we have actual real trees, and what we've done is we've actually taken those trees and we've actually screwed them to boards, and then we threw some weights on top of them because we don't want them to fall over during the sessions. The trees you can get at nettlehollow.com unless you live in an area that has beautiful white birch trees, and you can just go get your own. And what we'll do is we'll kind of set all that up, keeping in mind where the subject's going to stand. So I usually leave an area in the middle so they have a spot where they're actually going to walk and stand. And then we're going to start adding things like snow. These we got right at Walmart, which is a polyfill, traditional batting like you would use for quilts. And then buffalo snow is a little bit more fluffy. And then you also want a few packages of like loose snowflakes, ones that, as you throw them up in the air, they're actually going to look like snowflakes, so they're not connected together, it's loose. So we start by putting down the polyfill first, and the reason we're going to do that is it kind of gives us it kind of makes it look like drifts, like snow drifts. And so we add that all around the bottom base of the trees, covering up all the weights and the boards. And then on top of that, we'll add the polyfill to kind of give it even more of a fluffy effect to the snow. And then on top of that, we throw the loose snowflakes. So when you start to combine all three of those layers, it's kind of like Photoshop. The more layers you use, the better it's looking. So the more layers we can use in our set, then it starts to have more of an appeal of realism. And then we're going to start to add finishing touches, such as we actually go out and get real rocks from outside, pine cones, pine trees, different branches. You can use this, the spray snow and spray those down a little bit with the white. We can use snowflakes, and literally I just go around and just kind of throw snowflakes all over the place, really just kind of filling it up and making it look really good. I kind of am a strong believer that the more you can put into it, the better it's going to look. So these are some of the finished images on that particular set. You can see, and this was one from last year or 2 years ago, and we actually had an old lantern that we spray painted that softly with white, kind of frosted the glass, so it kind of gave it that appeal of the snow flowing. The snow is actually in action. If you're a member of proforum.com, you can go there and you can check out, just search snow action, and you'll find that on the proforum.com. That idea, that whole entire set, I have to give special thanks to Rod Evans. This was actually his image, and I saw that on a forum, and I just thought it was beautiful. And so the inspiration for our Winter Wonderland set actually came from Rod Evans, who did a beautiful job. He actually called his Narnia, which I thought was a great idea. So now we're going to switch gears, and we're going to talk about Santa a little bit and the promotions that we do with him. So here's our Santa promos that we're going to talk about. We do Santa in 2 different ways. We do My Special Santa, and we also do more of a Santa shopping mall style. So let me show you the differences in these two and what's involved with that. So My Special Santa, the cool thing about this is we actually have a Santa suit. And Santa in that image is actually that young boy's grandfather. So Santa for your My Special Santa is actually dad or grandpa. And the reason we do that is because it really gives that connection to mom who's purchasing the pictures, is the fact that their child is sitting on Santa's lap and mom knows that Santa is dad or grandpa. And I think there's that emotional connection, and when you have an emotional connection, that equals to more sales. The pricing for my special Santa is a little bit higher than a quick take, but lower than a regular price list. And I think it's important for you to find out what that is for you. I think a good starting point for a promotion like this might be someplace in that $99 to $129 for a very small package, maybe an 8x10 and a 5x7 and a couple wallets, not getting them too much, because the sales will be pretty decent from this special just because of that emotional connection. And so therefore, I think you need a good starting point, but we don't want it as cheap as a quick takes because it's going to take a little bit more out of your time, and time is money. It takes a little bit longer because dad or grandpa has got to get into the Santa suit. So we're going to schedule these a little bit longer, so we're going to schedule them more along that 30-minute time slot versus that 15-minute time slot. So here we go, 20-minute appointment, 20 to 30 minutes appointment. Again, we're still shooting 6 to 8 poses. And on this particular special, this is when you actually can do more interactive, and the interactives will sell. Because if the child's looking right into dad or grandpa's eyes, mom's going to love that. And then we also do a shopping mall style Santa, which what that means is we've kind of pre-set up a set, and we're using Santa, and it's kind of a one-click kind of a thing. It's always custom background. Cheap, very cheap, quote-unquote affordable, but very cheap prices, maybe that $25 to $30 range. One really good shot. In other words, I'm not shooting 6 to 8 poses. I'm actually clicking the button one time. That is probably the only negative that we ever get from our clients because they sometimes don't believe we got it. And as long as you're confident when you're shooting and you can relay that confidence to your client, I think it's okay. So when they're on Santa's lap and they're looking at the camera and they got this great smile, click that button, double check it, and as long as it looks great, they're done. So, and it's very similar to what happened at the mall. We always have refreshments, and it's usually scheduled on a Saturday or an evening because you have to be available when the kids are available. If you schedule Santa in the middle of the day, don't expect too many kids to be there because they're probably going to be in school. Here's how we start Santa. After we get the set all set up and we have our clients come in, we start with peeking. The reason we do this peeking kind of photograph with Santa is the fact that a kid, especially just like the boy on the screen, he's at that about 18 months age that has stranger anxiety, and more than likely when he sees Santa, he's going to freak out. So I always want the safety shot, because I want to be able to sell something. So if mom would walk in with a child about that age, anywhere between probably about 9 months to 2 years, I'm almost always going to do a peeking. Even if mom says, oh no, they're fine with Santa, every time I break that rule and I don't do a peeking shot, the kid freaks out, screams, cries, and we never get the image. So, pretty much a general rule to do is at that age group, we're going to actually make them do a peeking shot just as a safety. And then we would bring Santa around and put the child on Santa's lap, and if all goes well, we'll shoot that picture. And then I would look at mom and have mom decide at that point, say, which one do you want, the peeking or with Santa? And 99% of the time they'll move towards the with Santa picture because that's really what they did want. I just want that safety shot. So we have the peeking. Now lucky this little boy, he got on Santa's lap and he loved Santa, so it was no issue at all. So we have sitting with Santa. And then they do have a third option, which is without Santa. If there's some people just come and they just want a quick, really fast snapshot of their child at Christmas time, and so we can do a without Santa picture. Why do we do Santa? Because you might be thinking, oh, that's really going to cheapen your studio. You're doing these mall-style Santa pictures, and I don't believe in that. I believe it's a great way to bring my clients into the studio. It's a great way to meet new clients. One of the best things about Santa is, when they're there, they walk into your studio and they get to see all the amazing things that are about your place. They get to see your work on your wall. They get to meet the staff and the friendly staff and talk to them. They get to see your product lines. They might look at their Christmas cards. You can always, again, cross-promote and give them something on the way out the door, maybe for a family special, or when your pictures come in, you're obviously going to stick something in that package that advertises your next special. So it's a great way to meet clients. And I know some people, might be saying, I would never do a one-shot Santa. It's going to bring in the wrong kind of clients, and that's absolutely not true. The majority of the people that come in for our one-shot Santas are our current custom session clients that come in all the time and spend a lot of money at the studio. And they would rather come to us where they're going to get a little bit more personal attention than go stand in the long line at the mall with screaming kids. So it's a great thing for them. They'd really enjoy it. And Santa comes around and actually talks to the kids for a few minutes. So we do have that personal attention also. So it's a great experience for the kids. And there's no long line. I think that's one of the greatest things. We have had, usually we have at max maybe 3 people waiting, and they understand that, and we just make sure that everybody gets a little bit of personal time with Santa. And that when the session's done, Santa gives them a little gift also. So make sure you have gifts for the kids. So this is kind of how we would advertise this. If you go back to our Facebook page, you can see that, where we have packages starting as low as $35. And in that package, it's not going to be a whole lot of anything. We're talking maybe 2 5x7s and 4 wallets, really inexpensive. Excuse me. We also do a gift card sale. This would be very similar to, you see restaurants doing this. Buy $100, get an extra $10 or whatever. So you have to just kind of figure out what's going to work best for you. And during the holiday season, we always do a gift certificate sale. And that's how it looks like. It's just press printed, 5x7 press printed cards from H&H. Here's our Christmas cards. Again, we're getting them from 2 places, either Check Art Studios or from Bird Design, the Etsy store. And both of them have great holiday cards. I would recommend them both. We do like to customize them, so when we get the Christmas card template, if somebody, those kids came in and they had the real bright green and bright blue shirts on, well, perhaps that card was not in this color format when we bought them from Check Art, but we can use hue and saturation and actually change the color cast to match your outfits. That's one of the things that is a great selling point when it comes to your cards, and the clients absolutely love that. They love the fact that we can pretty much take any of the templates that we've purchased and color match them to the actual image. This is how we kind of advertise our Christmas cards at the studio. We have them in we just made 8.5 by 11 printouts, and we make like a little book, a price book, and so this would be the cover of it, and these are just a couple sample pages inside where we, designer cards are 5x7 postcards. We also do the die cut ones, and we get all of our press cards from H&H, showing them all the different options that they can use. And then this would be how the pricing is displayed, so they can see that also. It's a little bit more expensive if they would go up to the die cut cards. We charge more for those. And then we also run a card sale, and we send this to past clients. We give them 15% off, and they can do this with any session that they had taken throughout the whole entire year. So what we did was they actually designed this particular flyer in Photoshop, and where you can see the card where it says the Nelson family, we actually went in and grabbed a template and an image from every family session that we've done throughout the entire year, and we actually printed out a custom flyer for each person. So we would mail this particular piece right here to the Nelson family so they could see what a card would look like. And you'd be surprised how many people just call up right over the phone and just say, you know what, whatever card you guys designed for that flyer for me, that's exactly the one I want, and I want however many they order right there. And it's very simple. We kind of done the work for them. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it's a great way to add on sales from clients that have been there throughout the year. So the last thing I want to talk about before we start wrapping up is the gift of education. Like I said earlier, I've been in the business for 20 years, and I do believe that education is very, very important in the industry. And there's 3 places I want to talk about a little bit. And one is Imaging USA. I'm a strong believer in PPA and Imaging USA. It's a great place to go. If you want to join in with 8,000 photographers from all over the United States, multiple different tracks as far as different things that you can study and see different programming, and obviously a very large trade show, which is a great place to go and see new products. And then obviously we want to talk about Sync just a little bit. That's down in St. Pete Beach in Florida in February 1st through the 4th. There's a website you can see there. It's a little bit more intimate where it's not as large as Imaging USA. Our trade show is a little bit smaller, but we try to bring in only the best vendors that are really kind of specialized towards portrait photography. So we're really kind of focusing our event more on seniors, and the Y stands for youth. So seniors and children and sports and babies. That's kind of the specialized of Sync. And then also lastly is local and state PPA events. I think it's very important that you get involved with those. And the reason why I'm saying this with this whole gift of education is that we need to support our industry when we start thinking about our photography industry and where it's going in the future. That when you start, if you would go and you would attend events such as these that are on the screen, what you're doing is you're helping out yourself as a business owner, because you're going to go there and you're going to get better educated and be able to improve your craft. Along with that, you're going to meet fellow photographers that are having the same either problems or having the same success as you, and you can share stories. Yeah, we can talk on Facebook and we can be on Facebook groups all day long and get information there, but there's something about actually meeting with someone and actually talking to them face to face and actually joining in to a lively discussion about your business and getting and feeding ideas off of each other. And I think that's one of the greatest things about going to a live event. And then also, it also helps support our vendors. And our vendors are very important to our industry, because when we're there at an event, then they have their product there. Not only is it a great place for you to be able to touch and hold and see and try different products, but it also shows that you're supporting them as they support us. And I think that it's a big circle, and I think that to make the industry survive, that all those things are important, and the circle has to be completed by us, attending paid educational events, which is where we're going to kind of wrap up the seminar, is the fact between free education versus paid education. And I think that, as I said earlier, I totally believe in PhotoVision. PhotoVision. I believe in them too. They were great. PhotoBiz. I believe in PhotoBiz. It's about the only company that I'm doing a free webinar with, because I do believe that paying for your education is a great thing, and I think it's very easy to go on YouTube or go on Facebook and get free tips and tricks. But if you really want good, solid, quality education, I think that it's something that you need to go to one of the events and actually pay for, and be able to support the industry in a way that the industry is supporting you. So before we go in, I just want to give you a couple holiday gifts from our companies, so that you can, some coupon codes that you can go and if you would like to purchase things or register for Sync. The first thing is our background company. If you go in there right now, currently, expires November 20th. We have all backgrounds are $35. We have added some brand new things that I want. If you've seen us speak before or heard us speak before, the lockers that are there in the middle are one of our most popular backgrounds. And we just recently added 2 additional sizes. So it comes in a standard 5x7 size, and then we also have 2 larger sizes. So now we have 3 options when it comes to the lockers. We've had multiple requests for a larger background of lockers, so that's one of the things we've added just recently. We've added some new templates, from anything from preschool price list to our family price list to some of the senior mailings that we send out. Those have been added just recently. And then also we've just uploaded just the other day some new dual-sided backgrounds for, especially if you're a newborn photographer, where one side of it might be pink and then you can flip it over and the other side might be blue. So therefore you can have a baby girl and a baby boy background out of the same piece of fabric. All of our backgrounds are wrinkle-free, wrinkle-resistant, and we have most of them in stock, and if not, we get them to you as fast as possible, really quick shipping. And as I said, they're all $35 off right now. And most of the marketing and most of the templates is also all on sale right now. And then if you would like to come join us in February in Florida, we would love to have you come see us at Sync. You can use the promo code SYNC13B, and that expires in December, and you can save $50 off of your registration per ticket. We have an amazing lineup of photographers that are coming to speak. It's a great mixture. I know a lot of people like hands-on. We're doing quite a few different hands-on events at the event this year. And we also have a print competition if you'd like to enter your photography and get awarded for that with cash and prizes. We also have a trade show. We have fun events in the evening, lots of different crazy parties and things like that, along with the education. So we'd love to see you come down to Sync. And you can go to our website at syncseniors.com and get all the information on all the speakers that are going to be there. It's an incredible lineup. I think one of my best lineups yet when it comes to the educational event. So we'd love to see you come down and join us in St. Pete this February. So that's about it. That wraps up my Christmas promotions. I do want to say thank you to PhotoBiz one more time, because they are amazing, and I really do truly believe in their product. We need to say thank you to H&H too, because H&H does a lot of great things for our studio, and provides a lot of the printing that we do through the lab. So I want to say thank you to them also. So that pretty much wraps it up. I'll be glad to take a few questions if we have them.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Darty, for the great presentation. I know you fit a lot of information in a short period of time there, so I hope everybody took some notes in today's webinar. Now would be the time to submit your questions, guys. If you do have any, just use the chat tool inside of the webinar software, and I will relay those over to Darty.
Yeah, I talk fast, so hopefully everybody got that because there's a lot of information quickly.
Oh, I think you did a great job there. And if you want to leave the slideshow up, Darty, just in case anyone wants to go back to some slides.
Yep.
Okay. This is probably going to be, let's see, the first question that we have in here is coming in from Cindy, and she actually has two. Her first one would be, where are you guys finding your mailing list for your direct mail pieces? Is it something you guys are building over time, or?
Yeah, hi Cindy. The mailing list for this kind of promotion is basically coming from current clients. Being in business for 20 years, this is something that we've kept, building on, and I think that's very important to do. Also, whenever an email goes out, and also on our Facebook page, there's also, you can join our email list there, and it links them, right into Constant Contact has a very easy way of, a little app that goes around the Facebook that goes directly to their database, so their emails are going in there. We also, whenever we do any kind of team event, let's just say like a little soccer league or something like that, we actually have on the price list, it says a place for them to enter their email address, and it has like a little checkbox that says, please add me to your mailing list. So I think that's always important too, to make sure that you do that. Cross-promoting all the time, constantly cross-promoting. Now in seniors, we do that a little bit different. We actually will buy a list for seniors, or we'll actually go through a third-party company like American Student List or someplace like that, and we'll actually buy a list, a brokered list, which is not always accurate, but at least it's a good start.
All right, and I'm going to jump into the other questions here. So let's see. The next question came in from Lisa, and this was about quick takes, Darty. So Lisa wants to know, when you do sell digital files for quick takes, do they get a file of every image that you show? Or I guess she's probably wondering if it's individual.
Yeah, no, they're getting individual files. I'm going to go back up to that price list quick here if I can find it. Here it is. And like I said before, we're really not selling too many digital files. I really don't like selling digital files. Quite honestly, we just put it on the price list to test out to see if anybody was interested. We normally do not. It's not something we offer our regular clients, our senior clients. We don't offer digital files at all. We just stuck it on our quick take price list just to see if anybody would bite. And really, they're really not doing that. So I don't know that that's, like I said earlier, I don't really want to go down that route. I just wanted to see if anybody would. But if they would buy a digital file, they're buying one pose for $125, they're buying two poses for $200, or three poses for $225. And last weekend we did this quick take, and we had just under 40. We had like 37 clients on the first weekend, and we had one person buy files. And then as we go into next weekend, we have another 30 to 40 sessions booked, and I'll be surprised if we sell one or two digital files. People are not buying them right now.
Okay, all right. And can you repeat that mailing list? Is it American
Student List?
Okay.
That's for high school seniors.
Okay, yeah.
And they're not going to be accurate. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, that's a whole nother webinar. But they're not going to be accurate. You're going to have about 50 to 60% accuracy. That's just how it is. And you can buy, all list companies will sell you high school seniors, they'll sell you families, they'll sell you newborns, they'll sell you children. If that's the direction you would like to go, you can always do that. You can sort it by income, by area. There's all kinds of options, and you can get all that information from them.
All right, and the next question comes in from Michelle. Michelle's asking, do you run the same specials for both studios, or do you have different promos? I have a studio in San Diego and one in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and my price points are very different because of people's income. What do you recommend?
We run the exact same price lists and specials for both studio locations, and they are a little bit different areas. They're only 45 minutes apart, so they're not cities apart, but they're 45 minutes apart. And one is rural, where seriously, where the original location is, there's not even a red light in the town. It's very small. Local high school might have 80 high school seniors. Whereas the second location is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is the capital. Local high schools are running someplace between 400 and 700 high school kids. A lot, the income is higher out that direction, but we use the same exact price list. If you were in totally different parts of the state or country or cities, then I think I would probably have to consider, what is the going rate in that area, and then yeah, I would consider doing different price points.
Okay. All right. And we did have someone who missed the Christmas card pricing slide. Is there any way you can head back over to that one?
I can. So this is the book, so this will be just the cover of it. It's about 6 pages long. I just picked up a couple screenshots of it. I didn't do all of them. This is kind of showing some of the 5x7 just flat cards, and then also the die cuts. We don't sell folded ones, only by request. We just found that folded cards don't sell well for our studio, so they have to request if they want folded, and we have about 3 clients a year that will request a folded card. And then this is the actual price list. So you can see there that, for an example, 24 cards is $110, at $4 each is basically for additional cards. And then if you go to the die cut ones, it goes up about $10 for the 24 pack, and then an additional 50 cents per card if they want to add on.
All right, great. And I am going to try and grab a couple more questions since a few just came in here, and then we'll wrap things up. Gregory wanted to know, do you repeat sets every few years?
Yeah, what you'll do is as you start doing quick takes, you'll realize which ones are really popular and which ones aren't. We've had some duds. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that we've done some that were like, yeah, that didn't work out too good. When you do like the February ones, it's really not a buying time for anybody. So, quite honestly, for us, we're lucky if we get 20 to 25 appointments on something that's, maybe being run around the Valentine's Day time, just because it's, like I said, it's not a buying time for clients, so you're not very busy right then. But the ones that we constantly are doing, we always do the beach. It always sells very, very well. Christmas ones always sell, and we did the Winter Wonderland that we did this year, which is, well, it's this one we did this year. We did that 2 years ago. We'll repeat that one about every 2 years. What we try to do too is try to do one that's more of an outdoor theme at Christmas, so it's kind of a wintry theme, and then one that's also more like a Christmas tree with packages. I think it's important to appeal to both clients because there's some people that don't want a Christmas scene, because you can see here on the screen you got Merry and Bright. That's kind of what I would consider more of a Christmas scene, and then we have Winter Wonderland, which is just more of a winter scene. And we'll do both of those. Will be pretty equally booked, but I always want to have an option that does not include a Christmas tree in case somebody, for whatever reason, religious beliefs, etc., they don't want a Christmas tree in the actual image.
All right, and then just grabbing one more question here from Shauna. Shauna asked, are you and I think she's asking, are you and Colleen the only photographers shooting in the studio, or do you guys have additional photographers to handle the rush this time of the year?
Now, we have 4 photographers in our studio. And we're, like I said at the beginning, we're a little bit higher volume. Our high school seniors could be anywhere between 700 to 800 seniors a year. We're doing multiple families, promotions, for families and children. So yeah, there's 4 photographers. For the most part, when we're working on these 15-minute time slots, we try to work in pairs. So one photographer will be behind the camera. Their only job is to sit there and click the button. They shouldn't even say anything. They don't need to talk to the client or to the kids. They can talk to mom, but they don't talk to the kids. They don't entertain the kids. Their job is to click the button at the right time and to have the images framed and ready. And then the other photographers, we just like to refer to that person as a person that's playing with the kids. Their job is to talk to the kids, play with the kids, and get that expression, so we get those perfect expressions every time. So on quick takes, we work in teams of 2 only because of the timing, and we want to get it done in 15 minutes or less. But during the regular season and regular sessions, everybody has their own schedules. So, I would shoot a family or children on my own. Unless it was something that I needed help with, then we help each other out.
Well, Darty, today's been great. Thank you so much for sharing your presentation with us, and I wanted to thank everybody again personally for taking the time out of their day, and you too as well, Darty, for creating such a great presentation. We're going to go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up, guys. If you do have any additional questions, like Darty mentioned, he did have in the first frame, if you want to just jump over to that, your contact info there. And that way you guys can contact Darty or through the studio right there. I do recommend taking a look at their work, and also about Sync Seniors as well. If you guys are in the senior business, that's the place to go. We'll be there as well. PhotoBiz is a vendor there, and I was able to attend last year, and I absolutely had a blast. It's favorite event I've been to in terms of the education, the atmosphere. It's definitely worth the while if you guys can make it out to Florida. So definitely check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up. Darty, thanks again for presenting today.
All right, thank you. Had a great time.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Yeah, I'll let you go, Darty. And guys, I hope you have a great afternoon and enjoy your day.